So for today's video, we're going to be retrobriting this old Auric XL Classic. This is from, looks like it was made on the 224th day of 2000. So this machine is roughly going to be about 25 years old, and it's in need of retrobriting. The plastic has discolored. You can really see it has discolored on the handle. I don't know how well the camera picks this up, but it's supposed to be gray. It kind of turned into a greenish color, and obviously we don't want that. And also the hood is slightly discolored. In fact, you can actually see the difference. The lens, which is this assembly, is actually the original color, and you can see where the hood itself has discolored. So we're going to show you how to retrobrite this machine. This will pretty much work on any plastics. So you're going to want hydrogen peroxide, which needs to be about 3%. You can do higher, but 3% at least. Plastic wrap or Ziploc bags, whatever, however big your plastic pieces are. The handle pieces are probably going to be able to fit in the Ziploc bag. However, the base I'm probably going to have to use plastic wrap. So I'm going to take off these parts that need to be retrobrited, and we will be right back. Okay, so I removed all of the discolored plastic parts that came from the Auric, and that includes these two handle pieces, this belt door, and this main body. Now, I would like to note that this method, I really like this method using hydrogen peroxide because it usually does not remove lettering from the surface. And I'm not talking about the molded on lettering, I'm talking about the ink. Also, I recommend wearing gloves when you're working with this stuff. And one thing I also would like to note is if you have any metal on your plastic pieces for whatever reason, like I do here, I would actually recommend taping those before you spray on your hydrogen peroxide, because I have seen the hydrogen peroxide start to corrode the metal. Now, obviously, on this model, the lens just covers that. So I'm going to go ahead and do is put my phone on the tripod and get these plastic pieces prepped for our retrobriting process. And what we're going to do, now any tape's going to work. I only have electrical tape on hand, but this is going to do the same thing. So let me get this. And I'm going to start wrapping these metal pieces, so I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so we have our tape protecting these metal pieces. Now again, I highly recommend using gloves because we are about to spray on this cleaner. Now, this process can take about a day to a few days because, well, it also depends on how bad your plastic pieces are as far as how yellow they are. I've seen much worse. I've retrobrited much worse than this, but it is still definitely noticeable, and I still definitely want to retrobrite these parts. So now that I have my gloves on, we're going to go ahead and start spraying our cleaner. Now, usually these spray bottles just come with a cap. I just get one of these spray handles and screwed it on so that way we can spray this cleaner. So, yeah. Now, again, we're going to do this with plastic wrap because I don't have a gallon-sized bag that's going to fit this. So I guess what we're going to do first is just lay it on here first. Now again, stickers like this should be okay. I don't think it's going to ruin that in any way. So, move this stuff out of the way, and we'll start spraying this whole thing. You want to get this whole thing wet on all sides. Make sure this whole thing is coated in hydrogen peroxide. And you see I have a towel down because this will bleach your carpet if you're not using a towel or whatever surface you are using. Okay, so that's been heavily saturated, so we're just going to wrap it up. You don't have to wrap it up multiple times, just till it's at least covered. Now, what the plastic wrap does is, because we're going to put this in the sun, the UV light in the sun will dry this out really fast, but by using hydrogen peroxide, or by using the plastic wrap, this will ensure that it stays on here longer without drying out so fast. Now we can see the back side still needs some more plastic wrap, so we're gonna get some more. Alright, so now that this is covered, we're going to set this to the side and we're going to do the same thing with our other parts. So we have these two halves, and because the gallon size bag will fit these, we're just going to go ahead and put them in here. Now you could also just fill this up with hydrogen peroxide and just set these in. Obviously, by spraying it on, you're just going to save a lot more, so this is the way I recommend doing it. Now again, you really want to get this saturated in hydrogen peroxide. I'm going to put some in the bag too, just to be safe. Just set them in. Close it. Alright, and the last part is the belt door. Same process. Alright, so now you want to put these in the sun. Now, as far as what you're able to do, I'm actually going to put this outside my window. And it doesn't have to be a hot day. You just want to do this on a sunny day, obviously, because the more sun there is, the more active the UV lights in the sun are going to be more effective, mixing in with the hydrogen peroxide and removing the yellowing or greenery, that whatever color you are retrobriting, because generally white plastic gets yellow and gray plastic turns green over time, and of course we know that it turns those colors whenever it's exposed to the sun. So I will put this in my window and we'll be right back. Okay, so this is kind of how I have it set up in the window here. So I have this here on the windowsill, and it's just going to sit here. I will turn it a few times so that just to make sure that all sides get the correct amount of UV lights from the sun. And I also have this taped to the window like that, and this. Now you can just set this outside on your driveway, but I just did not want to have to leave the house and do this. So yeah, that's how you Retrobrite. We'll be back in however long this takes. Okay, so we're back, and I rinsed off all the parts, and they look amazing. So, yes, retrobriting does work very well. You can see that all the parts actually match the original color of the inside. That's obviously never turned yellow. So, there you have it. I will probably put some before and after photos up here. So yeah, that's how you Retrobrite yellowed discolored plastic. Thanks for watching.